Hey everyone, welcome back. Well, it's those conditions out here that are my favorite for working in. It's about 9 in the morning and we have nice overcast skies. The sun is scheduled to come out about 11. So I love working out in the morning when it's cool. So as many of you probably know, when I first started getting into bonsai, it was Peter Chan that inspired me to have a bonsai nursery. And I was recently watching one of his videos, like I always do. And he was working on his maple trees that he's working up to sell there. And many times when I'm watching his videos, I realize that I should be doing the same thing he's doing. So I have a big flat of Amur maples that came up in April. So it's time to pot them up for their next step. So I'll show you the mix that I'm going to use to pot them up with. And it starts with my tree compost here. I'm still using the same pile. It just keeps breaking down. And anybody that's into growing trees should find a good source for some tree compost. So the first part of my mix is to sift this stuff, because you can see it still has big pieces of wood in it and a lot of rocks. So this 1/2 inch mesh on this sifter just lets through what I want to make my mix out of. So now that I've got the wheelbarrow with a bunch of that in it, there's 2 other things that I add to it. And we are very lucky here in Canada because there still seems to be a good supply of peat moss. In the UK, there's so many nurseries, they used it all up, I guess. So we're very lucky to have this stuff, because everything loves to grow in it. So I'll add a generous amount of this sphagnum. And the third thing I put in it is this perlite. And this perlite is it's a bigger perlite than a lot of the ones you see in the store. Has worked really well to create drainage. And bugs love to get in it. So this is the mix that all my trees are growing in. So we'll get these Amur maples on the tractor and we'll pot them up. All right, so here's my trees. Of course, every weed in the world wants to get in here. So the timeline on these trees are, I collected the seeds last November from some Amur maple trees that I've collected seeds off now for 5 years in a row. So in November they were just thrown into this flat and left in the greenhouse to stratify naturally. And every year I've had about this many of them come up. There's probably 100 of them in here. So I think they're an invasive species of maple, and obviously their seed is very prolific. And there's another tree on this property. It's a bloodgood, and I took a whole bunch of seeds off of it, and probably about 100, and put them in the same kind of flat in the same conditions, and I only got 6 trees from them. So these Amur maples are just extremely easy to start from seed, and they have been a great tree for developing. And I just sold my first clump-style one that I've been working on now for at least 3 years. So I'm really psyched to have them. And the other day I was gifted this bag of pots. And of course I have a box down at the end of our driveway where people give us pots, and this one just happened to have these perfect pots for my trees to pot these Amurs up in. I like to make them in groups. I've got one here from, so this one is last year's trees. So these trees are a year and 2 months old. So that's kind of how I like to plant them in a pot and sell them at like a clump style. Someone could take these and take them apart and do whatever they want with them. But if you leave them in a clump like that, they do make a really attractive bonsai. So these are just the perfect pots. It's like Christmas every time I go down to my box and somebody gave me a bag of pots. I never had to buy plastic pots. There's so many of them in the world. So these seeds were just thrown in this tub, so they're all just growing where the seed landed. I'll just take out a clump of them. So these all came up in April. So they're a very aggressive tree. You can see they're already nice little trees. So I'll just take that bunch right there. That's a nice bunch of them. And pop them in these pots. and then I can take them right to the market and sell them as little trees. So these will stay in these pots for a year. This time next year, I'll decide what I'm going to do with them. But they could be divided into single bonsai or grown as a clump style. So there we go, there's a good 6-pack of them. So as you can see by looking at my tub here, all of those trees just came out of this little corner here. So there's just hundreds of trees in there. So they're just extremely prolific. So like I said, there was another tree, this bloodgood tree, that I took seeds off of. And I probably planted 100 seeds of these bloodgoods, and I only got 6 of them. This is 3 of them here. So one of the bonsais that I made this spring was in the pot that I made in the Miracle-Gro tub. Here's a picture of that one. It did sell at the market. So this is one of the 6 original clumps that I made. These trees came up in 2021, so they're about 4 years old now. And I have sold one of these clumps this year at the market. So it's taken 4 years to get them attractive enough for someone to buy them. And having this many trees in a planting like this, it's almost like cutting a hedge. The idea is just to keep them compact, because all of this growth is the spring growth. So once a year they just need to be pruned like this. It's almost like pruning a shrub or something, just to keep it in a compact shape. And they are just really aggressive trees. You have to keep up on them. You just don't ever want them to get lanky and hanging out. You can tell when they're ready for a trim. So now I have 5 of these clumps. I have 2 of those small ones, and those are the ones in the smallest concrete pot. And the one up there on the stair is my keeper. One I'm planning on keeping. I really like that one. So this is the twin of the one that got sold. Really exciting to see one go to a new home. So it's a really exciting time for my channel. As of this morning, I only need 16 more subscribers to make it to 5,000. Thanks to everyone who has subscribed and supported the channel. It means a lot to me. So I will be doing a big celebration video this weekend. So look for that. Hope everyone's having a great bonsai day. And I'll see you next time on Bonsai by the Sea.